Hey guys, my name is Mitsumiyo, and today I'm excited to say that we might now know some details about the two new operators coming to Rainbow Six Siege in a recent leak. Now, I will admit the first time I learned about this information, I was pretty skeptical. It was in a Reddit post, there was only a brief description outlining what these two new operators were going to bring to the game, but there wasn't anything further than that. Today, though, we got a leaked image of one of their gadgets, and so this information is looking more and more likely. And so first of all, they are going to be Australian operators. A lot of people already assumed and were hoping that this is going to be a case. There were some hints on the new Fortress map indicating that that was eventually where Rainbow Six Siege was going to head in a future DLC, and apparently it's going to be Year 4, Season 1. The first operator is named Gridlock, and he's going to be for the offensive team. His special ability is that he's going to be able to place down a red web tracker that when defenders run into it, they get damaged and it makes noise. You guys can see this potential gadget here. Now, the real question is, though, is how exactly is this gadget going to function? Based off the description, it sounds very basic. You place it down, anyone that passes on by is going to take a little bit of damage, and they're going to make some noise, basically acting as an early warning sign for roamers. And so if I had to take a guess, this is going to basically be barbed wire, but for the offensive team, but it may have some other nuances. Either it's going to make a lot of noise when a defender tries to destroy it with melee, kind of like barbed wire, but even more obvious, or maybe it can't even be destroyed with a melee, so they either have to take it out with an impact nade, for example, or they just have to take a little bit of damage, make some noise, offense might know that you're there, but then that'll allow you to get to where you're heading. Other than that, though, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to function, especially based off of this picture. Maybe it could do a significant amount of damage if you step on it, kind of like a frost trap, but then it really begs the question, who in the world is going to fall for something like this? This is not inconspicuous whatsoever. It is a bright red gadget in the middle of a hallway, in the middle of a doorway. Who in their right mind is going to step on it? It's also very surprising that they would introduce an operator that is so similar to one that they just released, Nomad. Yes, their gadgets do function differently, but it seems like this one is way more obvious. Yes, it does watch your back, but Nomad is a lot more inconspicuous, and that defender is not going to know what hit them, unlike with this, which is much more obvious. And so I'm not entirely certain. And so let me know what you guys think about this description. Do you think that this is going to be another way for offense to deal with roamers that are trying to flank you? It's going to be that early warning sign, or do you think it's going to have some other functionality? Let me know down below in the comments. Now, as for the defensive operator, who I find to be incredibly interesting, her name is Mosey, or Mozzie, or Mazai, I'm not entirely certain, but her special ability is that she can place down a device that when an enemy drone goes into it, she can take control of it and use them. Now, this has the potential to really change the dynamic when droning onto the objective. Instead of placing down a mute jammer, for example, to just literally stop drones from getting anywhere near the objective, you just have this device. It could just be a box. I can't imagine it being a box because who in their right mind is going to go into this drone garage? Like, that can't be it. It's got to be something that's inconspicuous so a drone doesn't realize that it's there, but as soon as they pass on by, she now has access to said drone. And so yeah, you may not be destroying it or jamming it with a mute jammer, but you're effectively doing that, but now it's turning the tables to your side and you have that drone at your disposal. This is going to open up so many more different possibilities and strategies that weren't possible before. You capture a couple of their drones and then place them on parts of the map where you assume that offense is going to be pushing from. Even if they don't push from that direction, you can then get back into your camera and drone around the map and figure out where they are, just like you would, but for the offensive side of things. It's a really interesting, cool new dynamic. To top it all off, it's probably going to be very difficult for offense to make the connection that they need to take out their own drone when they see one just on the map. A lot of times people, when they see a drone, they're going to assume, oh hey, a teammate's drone is there. They're not going to think, oh wait, the defense may have access to that, I need to take it out. And so you might be able to just stare at them the entire time and make callouts to your teammates. Now, if I had to take a guess, Ubisoft is going to give some sort of an indicator that defense has access to that particular drone. So if you do see it around the map and it's staring directly at you, maybe it has a different light. This is what they did with Dokkaebi, for example. So like, you know a Dokkaebi is staring at you. I'm sure that would be the same here, But even still, if someone isn't in it and it's just on the ground, you may not shoot at it like you would a Valkyrie camera, for example, because why in the world would you want to take out one of your own drones? And so it's going to add in a lot more of those mind games into Rainbow Six Siege, what I think is really cool. And so all in all, I cannot wait for the reveal of these two new characters. It's difficult to tell how much of an impact these descriptions would have on the game in the long run, but at least so far they sound very intriguing. The last bit of information that this leak provided is that apparently in Season 2, Canal is going to be getting a rework. Personally, I'm thrilled by this news because Canal is one of the most unique maps that we have in Rainbow Six Siege. Yes, it does have its flaws. After time progressed and we figured out how the game works, it doesn't really make for the most balanced ranked experience, but I really always like that dynamic of having two different buildings that are separated by a bridge. And so with that in mind, if I had to take a guess, the way that Ubisoft is going to be able to rework this map is to either have a couple more bridges that connect the buildings because you just need more ways for defense to roam around, or they're just simply going to forgo having two buildings, which would be disappointing because, like I said, that was one of the cooler aspects of this map, and just simply make it a lot bigger and connect the two so it's just one big coherent building. Personally, I'm hoping they're going to be able to find some sort of workaround because why in the world would you rework Canal if you weren't going to include that really unique quality? But of course, only time will tell. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Give me your thoughts on all what we discussed in today's video. Are you excited about the prospect of these two new operators? Are you looking forward to the rework of Canal? How would you like Ubisoft to go about it? Let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, guys, until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.